Hi everybody! Welcome back to my channel. Look, it's another art video, not just me talking. To jump back into making art for videos in the new year, I decided to just do some coloring in a sketchbook spread that I had drawn, I think, the end of last year. It's just two different Pegasus equine creatures. Here you see me transferring this drawing because I didn't want to get alcohol marker bleeding through to that page of tree studies that I had done. So I transferred this drawing to loose just drawing paper. It's pretty flimsy, like Strathmore drawing paper. And yeah, I taped it in over the original sketch, and that way I wouldn't get bleed through. But I would have the page together with the other one. Yeah, and then I started coloring with Ohuhu markers, and I'm sure some of you watching this saw the little like question thing I had on my channel in my post section where I asked for suggestions about coloring, like what colors I should do these two ponies, and I got so many good ideas. So I'm filing them away for future reference because the day that I stop doing like this in my sketchbook is the day that someone needs to take me to hospital, because that'll be weird and not me. Yeah, so thank you everyone who answered that question and gave me a lot of really cool ideas that many I will implement in the future. I ended up going with what Evie Draws said because her suggestion to do like Year of the Horse, like Flaming Horse, something was, it got me really excited, and I had kind of had a similar idea earlier in the very beginning of the year, and then I totally spaced it. So when she said that, I was like, oh wait, oh yeah, it's Year of the Horse. So I did this. I was originally gonna have both of the coloring processes for both of these images, and then I didn't push record when I was coloring the second one for like most of it. So there's not very much footage, and so I just decided not to show you guys that. But you do get to see the finished product on the other page, so there's that. I like this one better than I like that one. This one made me really nervous while I was doing it, but it turned out looking really cool, if I say so myself. The other one, I think I really like the idea of what I was trying to accomplish, but I don't think the composition of the pose lent itself well to the color scheme, because it sort of meant that like certain limbs and the head sort of got lost in everything, because there were similar colors and values right next to each other, and that just didn't end up working as well as I would have liked. This one though, this one worked. So I kind of just am using these alcohol markers to build up layers from light to dark. And yeah, it took some time, but yeah, it was one of those things that just felt very meditative, which is always really nice. I felt kind of nervous about it as I started it because I wasn't totally sure what I was gonna do. I didn't plan any of this. In the last year, I've learned a lot about the value of planning ahead with my artwork. Doing thumbnails and color tests, taking my time, etc. But sometimes I feel like it's good to occasionally just go in and do it as you go, figure it out as you go. And I feel like a sketchbook is the perfect place for that, because this is not high stakes. This is just me, doing some art and trying to relax, which is good, I think, to do every once in a while. I really like how this ended up looking like cracked magma. flowing out of a volcano type stuff. And like it's sort of dripping towards the ground from the body of the horse. Yeah, pretty cool. This is one of those pieces that I actually feel like would be a really fun sticker one day. Let me know if you'd like a sticker of this thing. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, I thought it would be neat to do the underside of the wings like all the light color, so it looks like it's glowing from beneath, and I am extremely pleased with how that turned out, so that's fun. It's always nice when you're just flying by the seat of your pants and experimenting and it works. It was disappointing that they didn't really both work as well, but you know, that's why we have sketchbooks. I had initially planned to do a lot of colored pencil on this after, and then I did a little bit, but it just didn't end up needing much else. So yeah, you'll see a little bit of that at the very end, but I just felt like it already looked pretty good, so I wasn't worried about it. And this really was like my first foray into doing creative work other than the mural that I'm working on for over a month. So I'm admittedly a tiny bit rusty, and yeah, so this was just a good reintroduction back into doing the art because I was quite burned out. How is everyone else's new year going? I am, there's not a lot to say about this particular piece. It's very much just layering markers, which takes some patience, and I do go over all of the dark stuff with the lighter colors frequently just to keep it blended quite well. I don't mind a little bit of the brush strokes being visible in a large area, but I prefer it not to be too much of the brush strokes. There's kind of like a happy middle ground for me that I like, so. This theme of like a fire horse is actually kind of perfect for me too. This is another reason that when I saw that I was quite excited, because I don't know if anyone who follows me on here has followed me on my other socials, but my social handle on every platform that I'm on is Fireheart13, fire with a Y. And I don't know if I've ever explained that. I might have in the oil painting video I did of my horse, but I've had 5 horses over the course of my life. I don't have one right now, but my last one was my heart horse, and he was a chestnut Arabian, so he was red, and he had a very fiery personality, and I called him Fireheart sometimes. That was sort of his nickname, and yeah, that's my handle, and so it's kind of special to me. So a fire horse, yeah, that's always just gonna be really like close to my heart. So that was another reason that I was like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So thank you, Evie, if you watch this. I appreciate it. But yeah, here is me going in with just a very dark brown and adding a little bit of darker shadowing here and there and a little bit of line work just to make things stand out a little bit better and give some places a sharper edge, which is just really difficult to get using markers. And I absolutely could have done a lot with the colored pencil and really like made it kind of epic, but I liked it enough as it is, and this is a sketchbook page and I have other things that are more of a priority than spending many hours on a sketchbook page. So but that being said, this concept is really cool, and I might revisit this in the future on like a separate page where I would be, you know, planning it out more, and I would do a lot more detail with the colored pencil. And that's something that if I were to do that, I would probably start with watercolor, not marker, or I would do both watercolor and marker. Just, yeah, thinking out loud there. And like I said, I was using Ohuhu markers, and this is a Prismacolor pencil, which I've had this set for decades, and this looks like one of the newer pencils. I have replaced a lot of the grays, blacks, and browns repeatedly because I did pet portraits a lot for a long time. I am still going to do pet portraits, but I will be exploring gouache and oil for that in the future, and watercolor, which I've done a little bit of on my channel if you've been here for a while. But yeah, here is this finished piece, and I really like it. I think it's really cool, and I love that the underside of the wings is so bright and the outside is dark. But yeah, there's the other one. Kind of wanted it to look like it was glowing from within, which I also think is a really cool idea, but it just kind of, it feels really like it just didn't quite read. So maybe I'll try that again in the future too. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. It's good to be back. I will see you next time in another video. Bye.